our month of Elul, getting ever closer to the beginning of a new year, we start this morning in seeking with the words of Psalm 27. Achat she'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Achat she'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai, lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker veichalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker veichalo. This morning, we have a reflection from Efto, someone in our community who is just a beautiful soul. Every time I talk with Efto, I find that he has some deep thought, something that he wishes to share, and we've had many philosophical and theological conversations together over the past year. Efto is a person who is exceedingly generous and kind, who would do anything to help another human being. And so I asked him if he would write something for Elul. Now, Efto has an accent, and he was worried, even though I told him it wouldn't be a problem, that he might not be understood if he were to share his reflection. So he asked me to read it on his behalf. So these are the words that Efto has offered as he thinks about preparing for the High Holy Days, the things that are on his mind, the things that he wants to work on. He writes, "This time is arriving again, every year. And all of the questions that I had before are arriving back again. Some of them are easy, some of them are difficult. A few years ago, I met a young man who was trying to understand the unfairness of life. Some people suffer, others live happy lives. Some don't have enough to eat, while others have an abundance of food. Some of them have families, others don't have anyone to share their burdens with. One thing the young man said has bothered me consistently since that day, not just every year at this time of life reflection. He told me that it is not fair that to some people all mistakes are forgiven and for others not at all. But he also said that we are lucky because we have chances for our mistakes to be forgiven by God. We can say sorry, repent, stop making the same mistakes, and be forgiven. I wondered, is it really that easy? How seriously do I take opportunities to ask for forgiveness and to learn from the mistakes I have made? On the High Holy Days, I ask God for forgiveness. I am comforted that someone or something that is so big and so far from me really cares about my daily life situation. Like, I do care for every small atom in my body. If the atom dies or its function expires, the body will create a new one. Where is the problem even to worry about that? But God does care about that small atom. What is the value of that atom? I try to understand that, but with partial results. I have many questions and get little answers. This young man provoked me to start asking difficult questions that I have to face constantly, especially for Yom Kippur. If there is an opportunity for me to reflect, for me to request help for my mistakes, how seriously am I taking those mistakes, since some of them are repeating daily, constantly? How many times people ask me, how are you doing? And I say, fine, thanks. And inside I know that was a white lie just to be polite. This is an easy situation. But with those that are difficult, what do I do? Many of them do not depend on me, but on situations around me. But still they have an effect on me. At the end, I came back to the same question. How seriously am I taking the opportunity for my mistakes to be erased, to ask for forgiveness? Can I realize that there is nothing, I mean, really nothing, that can be compared with the chance to request forgiveness of my mistakes and do teshuvah daily? Do I realize the opportunity that I have to talk to God and express my needs and wants? It is difficult to truly internalize that. It is a special opportunity if I make the most of it. Every year I bring my soul for a meeting with God on the High Holy Days, and I try not to forget to pull all the layers of my mistakes from my heart like an onion and talk to Hashem, talk to God to renew myself, my heart, my soul, and my brain. I long to experience the inner joy of cleanness, pure joy, of happiness without mistakes. Mistakes? What mistakes? Says God. Thank you, Efto, for your thoughts about the really important topic on forgiveness. What does it mean to ask forgiveness? What does it mean to even forgive others and forgive ourselves? There was an article that was just put out by one of the editors of The Forward. And in it, this editor talks about all the mistakes that she has made in this past year for miswriting people's names, for doing sloppy fact-checking, all of these different things that are listed in this article, all of the shortcomings that she has had. And as I read her words, there were two thoughts that popped in my mind. The first is, wow, she must be really secure in her job that she could just put this out there on the page of The Forward and have this be all over the place. But the second thought was, what an incredible model for teshuvah she had given us. An incredible model for asking forgiveness, for doing self-reflection and saying, these are things I haven't done as well as maybe I could have in this past year. And perhaps by saying these things aloud, one, not only am I coming clean and kind of freeing myself and giving me that pureness of the soul that Efto was talking about, but also perhaps I'm pushing myself to do even better in the next year, because not only have I voiced it and become aware myself, but I've also told others these are the things that I am trying to work on. And perhaps then I can have partnership in improving in those ways. I thought that was incredibly powerful. So Efto, I thank you so much for bringing in these really sincere thoughts about forgiveness, about the power that we have in asking for forgiveness and in reflecting at this time. And I hope that your words will inspire all of us to take the time in this month of Elul to really think about the ways in which we have missed the mark, the ways in which we hope to continue to grow in this next year. I bring us back to Psalm 27 as we read the words once more for this 14-line psalm of David. Adonai is my light and my victory. From whom shall I feel fright? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. From whom shall I feel terror? When evildoers approach me in battle to feed on my flesh, my pursuers, my adversaries, they have stumbled, they have fallen down. If a camp encamps against me, my heart will not fear. If a war arises against me, in this I would trust. One thing I have sought from Adonai, how I long for it, that I might live in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, that I might look upon the sweetness of Adonai and spend time in the palace. That you might hide me in your sukkah on a chaotic day. Hide me in the hiding places of your tent. Raise me high upon a rock. Now my head rises high above my enemies round about, and in your tent I'll offer offerings to the sound of truah. I shall sing and chant praises to Adonai. Hear, Adonai, my voice. I am crying out, be gracious to me, answer me. My heart has said to you, seek my face. I am seeking your face, Adonai. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me, God of my deliverance. For my father and mother have abandoned me, yet Adonai gathers me up. Make your path apparent to me. Guide me in the upright road because of those up ahead who lie in wait for me. Do not hand me over to the lust of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, puffing violently. Had I not the faith that I would see the goodness of God in the land of life, wait for Adonai. Fill your waiting with hope in Adonai. Let your heart be strong and of good courage, and wait hopefully for Adonai. Today we move to the 5th line in our psalm for reflection, which reads, that you might hide me in your sukkah on a chaotic day, hide me in the hiding places of your tent, raise me high upon a rock. And the reflection that Deborah Robbins gives based on these 2 words at the top of the page, biyom ra'ah. Biyom means on a day, or on a day, ra'ah means bad, on a bad day or a chaotic day. And so I share with you the words from her liturgical poem for this day. My teacher translates the phrase chaotic day, though the more common translation is evil day. For me, there are bad days, even very bad days, and there is the worst day, unimaginable but real. The day my mother dies, the day my father is diagnosed with cancer, the day an accountant makes one bad choice and becomes homeless. The day a parent goes to prison for stealing fruit to feed the family. The day a soldier loses his legs for freedom. The day a teen in a dark place takes her life. The day kids on the street or at school are murdered by gunfire. The day, any day, can be like this. Disorderly, unplanned, and painful beyond measure. I seek a safe place, a tent to shelter me, to hold the pain. I find a place to perch, a rock from which I can gain perspective, understanding, and see a way through my confusion and anger. Night turns to day, darkness to light, chaos to hope, and maybe even peace. Empowered and emboldened by the cycle of holiness, I turn again to the sacred work of living, tall and strong in the face of obstacles and enemies. The chaotic days won't stop, and I won't stop either. I can try to make this day a good day, a satisfying day, a meaningful day, a holiday, a holy day, day after day after day. In this poem, Deborah Robbins reminds us of how vulnerable and fragile life is. A reminder that perhaps we don't need quite as much this year, but is important nonetheless. This opportunity for us to really try to make the most of every single day and to find meaning and to find goodness and to find the safety of God's structure and God's love. I think one of the strongest tools that we have is really community and being with one another. And the fact that we're able to gather together on the good days as well as the bad ones, to celebrate the wonderful smachot that we have, as well as comforting one another when there are losses and when there's pain. That to me is what holiness is all about. So this morning, I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Tom and Michelle and Pam. It's great to see all of you. And I'm not seeing everyone else today, but I am just so glad that all of you are here. Oh, there we go. Donald and Karen and Marla and Rachel and Diane, Sarah and Bonnie and Donnie. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for creating the sacred community each morning by joining together for Elul. And for everyone who is watching, but I don't see your name, and everyone who is watching this later in the day, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for the sacred place, the sukkah of peace that we create by being in community with one another. Each morning, we hear the shofar blast, and today is a great opportunity to do that, to awaken our souls. And so today we'll hear the blast by our cantor.
Tekiah. Shvarim. Teruah. Tekiah.
And finally, we turn to our healing prayer, the Mishaberach. For anyone who is in need of healing of mind, healing of body, or healing of spirit, we offer these words for you. Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Yemotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us strength, show us the way. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Yemotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. I hope everyone has a meaningful day of healing, that we can find safety and security in the community that we are all blessed to be a part, and that everyone just has a day of uplift and a day of meaning. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for another day of Elul.